Jared Clark with Air Guns of Arizona. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Omega Supercharger. The Omega Supercharger is great because it brings you all the convenience of the scuba shop in this one nice package. You have the ability to fill tanks, you have the ability to fill guns, basically anything you need high pressure for. This is the most simplistic, ease of use system on the market. We're going to start with looking at the features. The first one that makes it so simple, it is a standard 110 volt. So basically this comes with a cord, plug the cord in here, plug the other side into your wall, and it's ready to fill your tanks to 4,500. It is as simple as that. Plug it in, it's ready to rock and roll. Over here, this says the self-draining adjust device. So basically what this does is this bleeds it while it's running for you. So you don't even have to worry about moisture traps, purging them, it'll do it for you, and it's fully adjustable. Right here, it says second, and right here it says minute. So basically you can say every 20 minutes, I want this unit to bleed for 2 seconds. And then as it runs, it'll self-monitor itself and bleed as it goes. So it's completely out of sight, out of mind. You plug this thing in, turn it on, you can completely walk away and you don't have to worry about it causing damage to your tank, to your line. It regulates itself. It is awesome in that fact. Moving on from there, you see that it has an hour meter. That is simple. It counts the hours of runtime. So basically, you know, when you need to add more lubricant, you need, you know, all that about maintenance, you can gauge right here based on how many hours you've physically been running the unit. Moving up the compressor, we have the face right here. There are 3 buttons on the side. On-off switch, once it's plugged in, you can turn it on, and then your compression on-off switch. So the unit can actually run, you can get the water pump going, make sure everything's flowing like it should before you actually start the compressor. So you turn it on, lights up, when you're ready to go, you hit start. When it's done, you can turn it off manually, or very simplistic, very cool feature of the Omega Supercharger, this nice big gauge right here. And as you see, it's got a little dial on it right here. It's got 2 little dials, basically, but these are where you want your automatic cutoff to be. So if you're filling a scuba tank, you would simply put the red one right around 4,500 PSI. This is your backup cutoff, just for some reason that red one failed. That one's there for you. So put them both at where you want it to cut off, and it does everything for you. It'll bleed it as it goes, it'll cut it off where it hits the pressure you want, and it plugs right into your wall. So this is truly the ultimate convenience in high pressure pneumatics. It'll give you the ability to fill tanks, guns, whatever you want in your home. Simple. That's the beauty of this unit, is simplicity. On the top of the unit, the first thing you see up here is the handle. This unit is very portable, and with the ability to plug into a standard 110, wherever you carry it that there's power, you can fill a scuba tank from. So that's nice to have right there. Just left of that is the bleed valve. That's simple. Once your unit is compressed, you've hit 4,500, it's cut off, it's ready to be disconnected, basically to bleed the pressure in the line here. Simply open that bleed valve and you'll hear it dump in the back, but that just allows you to depressurize the line to remove it from your tank. In the back, you have a burst disc up top here. That's simple, that's a fail-safe. That basically, once again, if the pressure's getting too high, you accidentally set that to 5,000 or 6,000, the pressure's getting too high, the unit itself will realize that something's wrong, and it'll blow off that burst disc and allow pressure to come out of that before it allows so much pressure to get in the line that the line explodes. So that's a fail-safe. It's a great feature when you're talking high pressure. There's a lot of things that can happen under that amount of pressure, and a burst disc is something that is very key to have. So great job, Omega, there. In the back, this last screw, when you receive your unit, this screw will be out. And we have had many people say that they screw it in because that's human nature. If something's out, we put it in. You want to leave that out. There's grease underneath that, and every 2 hours of runtime, so you consult with your hour meter up here, every time you hit 2, so 2, 4, 6, 8, you give it 2 full rotations. And what that does is actually has the lubricating grease inside of there, and it's just gonna flow into the system. Basically every 2 hours, 2 turns, you'll never have a problem with lubrication, you'll never have a problem internally with the unit as long as you keep it lubricated. Going on from there, we have this nice cap right here that we'll go ahead and remove. And it says on the top there, water tank cap. This is the water cooling system. This is your access to it as the user. So basically once you get this removed, you're gonna see some greenish colored liquid. That's antifreeze. That's to prevent the water cooling system from freezing up. You don't want pipes to freeze in your house. Same thing with this. You don't want the pipes that carry the water cooling unit to freeze. So there's antifreeze mixture in there, as well as something called purple ice. So we include that with it right out of the box. And then all you have to do, the user, when you get it, is fill water up to about inch and a half below the actual top. So it's very simple. You get the unit, fill it up with water to where it's almost at the top, plug it in, and it's ready to go. You just want to use standard tap water or bottled water. I've been told by the manufacturer that you want to avoid distilled water. So on that, just grab the hose and fill it up with tap water. In front of that, This is the air output. This is the line. Each unit does come standard with a high pressure hose. that has a female Foster fitting on the end. This is really nice. The Omega Mini fills directly to it. Many of the tanks will fill directly to a Foster fitting, so that's great. If your tank fills to a DIN style fitting or a K-valve, you can retrofit one of those fittings with a male Foster on the back. So basically it gives you that fitting just with a quick detach on it. The unit comes with a very durable high pressure micro hose here. You can see that it is wrapped with the coils here. That's just simply to help prevent kinking or any kind of breaking of the line. And it's just a great feature to have on a compressor like this, especially with the quick fill on the end. It makes it very versatile. It makes it very adaptable to pretty much any fill system you could possibly think of. Included with the unit, you'll get a very in-depth owner's manual. This is Omega branded, and it goes over a little bit of everything about standard maintenance, repairs, the grease you use, the warranty, everything you would need a manual to go over, it does right here. And there's got a schematic breakdown. It's got the O-rings you need, as well as an electrical diagram. So the owner's manual is very in-depth. It's a great resource if you have problems or quick quirks that come up with your compressor that you need to take a quick look at. Also included with the unit, you get some nice tools here. The units do come with a pair of tweezers now. This is because some of those O-rings can be really difficult to pull out. They can be kind of tedious to get to. So we just include a nice set of tweezers that'll make any repairs simple. You also get the Allen wrench that'll fit most of the Allen screws in here, as well as the multi-tool for taking the unit apart, the bolts, the nuts, everything. There's 3 different head sizes here, and that pretty much allows you to do a complete takedown of the unit with just the tools included. Along with the tools, you do get a complete reseal kit. This covers every O-ring that is inside the unit, so that's a nice feature to have. You don't really need to use them unless you're having problems or you've gotten enough run hours that it warrants a rebuild, so that's a good thing to have. Along with the O-rings, you also get extra antifreeze. The orange one is the antifreeze, the purple one is the purple ice that we talked about. Both of these are just cooling agents that stay in the water system, prevent the pipes from freezing. So that's good to have refills of, as well as you get a syringe here, and it's filled with the grease that goes up top. So every 2 hours, you're turning that 2 rotations. Once it bottoms out, simply back it out, put the syringe in there, fill it up with grease about 3/4 of the way, and set that set screw back in there. The compressor also comes with a nice cover. I'm not gonna take it out of the package because they're very hard to fold, but this is nice if you live in a cold climate or you just want to prevent dust or anything from getting on your unit. Just throw this on top of it when you're done using it and it'll stay protected from the elements. The Omega Supercharger utilizes a standard 110 volt for the electricity. You just have a nice simple plug right here that goes on the front. And once it's bottomed out there, you just plug this into any electrical outlet or extension cord, anything that has 110 volts. The unit does have power now, so we do have the ability to turn it on without actually starting the compressor. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and flip this switch to on. You're gonna notice that the light for off came off. That means it's not compressing right now, but the water pump is running. You can kind of hear that little bit of hum in the background. That is the water pump moving. So that's telling you that everything's working like it should. And you can open up the cap here and take a look at it just to make sure that the water is cycling like it should, because that's a system that flows. It goes through and then comes back up the top. You wanna make sure that that's circulating like it should. And once you have confirmed that it's flowing like it should, you got your pressure set where you want. It's as simple as pressing the green start button. Now you can actually hear the unit running. If you put your finger up to the outlet, you can feel the pressure coming out. It's humming like a washing machine right now, and this is as loud as it gets, all the way up to 4,500. If I had it plugged in or a deadhead here, we'd see pressure start to build, but basically it runs, it's not too loud or invasive, and then when you're done, you can turn it off, keep the water pump going, and then when you're completely done, shut it off. A question that we frequently get is how high do I fill my water system? I just got it, the water pump, it's not completely full. How high do I need to go? So basically you wanna fill it 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch below that line. And the reason I took the cap off to illustrate this is if you turn on the pump, you can physically see where the water begins to return into the system. And it's got a hole and it just flows. So basically you don't want the level of water to cover up the return hole. If you do that, the water pump won't work like it's supposed to. And it almost looks like a fountain, basically. You can get in here and you can see that it's flowing out into the reservoir, which is not covering the return. So we're gonna take an Omega 75 cubic foot tank that has about 3,000 PSI in it. We're gonna top it off to 4,500 PSI and just kind of gauge how long it takes. So what I have here is the Omega HP3 75 cubic foot. The reason I went with the HP3 valve is it's already set up with a nice Foster fitting. So basically the hose is ready to go in. So we'll connect it like that. You wanna make sure that your bleeder valve is nice and tight. You actually wanna go ahead and open up and it sounds like it makes a little hiss, but basically it's just the pressure in the tank equalizing with the pressure in the line. And we should have saw, yeah, that jumped up to just under 3,000 PSI. So we have the Omega 75 cubic foot tank all attached to the compressor. It's all ready to go. Basically, we're gonna start the compressor, time how long it takes, and we'll report back. Okay, so the automatic cutoff did kick in. Got the tank filled to 4,500 PSI. It took just over 45 minutes, which isn't bad on a unit that is as simple as this. You don't have a big rotary motor, you don't have a gas-powered anything. You have a unit that plugs into your wall and doesn't create too much noise. So under an hour is really nice for top-offs. This is a great in-home unit, great for someone who wants to be able to fill their own tanks, fill their neighbors' tanks, that kind of thing. This unit would fit you like a glove. The unit fills at a rate of 22 cubic feet per hour, which basically relates to a standard 75 cubic feet tank going from dead empty to 4,500 PSI in just over 3 hours. This is a very impressive number for a unit that plugs into your wall and is no louder than a washing machine. It utilizes the air and it utilizes it quickly. So in terms of being simple, in terms of being a compressor that you could use at home because it's so quiet and quick, this unit has all those features. Each Omega Supercharger does come with a full 1-year manufacturer's warranty, so if you have any defects that are caused just due to manufacturer flaws, give us a call. We'll put you in touch with a Raptor pneumatic representative and they will get you taken care of. Consult the owner's manual if you have any problems or questions. Air Guns of Arizona also produce repair videos that go over replacing the burst disc all the way to a complete teardown and reseal of the internal parts of the compressor. So be sure to consult those videos if you have any problems or things you'd like to troubleshoot with your unit. Today we took a look at the Omega Supercharger. We highlighted some of the features this unit has to offer, as well as some of the features that just make it very simple, very user-friendly. This unit as a whole is one of the most ready-to-go, high-pressure compressors that's on the market. It is very compact, it is very portable, and the simplicity is the beauty in this one. It basically needs to be plugged into the wall, make sure the pump is filled with water, and it's ready to start filling tanks immediately. It does not get much better than that. Thanks again for joining us. Be sure to join our email blast to stay up to date with current sales and promotions. Check us out on Facebook to stay current with everything Air Guns of Arizona. Thanks again, and be sure to keep an eye out for our next video.